6:20 a.m., August 23rd. His foot had actually reached the steps of his building before he was aware of the girl. He saw her out of the corner of his eye as he was digging for his keys. Hi. Even though she was cute, he was a little startled to have someone just waiting on his doorstep. He jumped and dropped his keys. He looked at her, recovered the keys, and climbed to the top of the steps where she stood. Are you waiting for someone? He managed to remember to smile. Lee, in turn, speculated that this guy would know Henry as Hank. Hank was Mr. Football in Chile. Hank was one of the guys. Do you know Hank? He lives in 3A in this building. Her accent had a drawl to it, something southern. He realized that he did know Henry. Henry was the guy that lived downstairs and owed him $50 for rolls 2 weeks ago. Henry was watched closely at Terry's parties because he'd been seen trying to G a girl's drink at one. Henry was a shady motherfucker. From talking to Henry a few times on the stairs when he'd come up to buy, Henry did not have much to recommend him at all, yet here in front of him, as far as he could tell, was a normal, cute girl looking for the scumbag himself. Terry decided he would give justice one chance to prevail. Are you like his sister or something? She laughed at this, which meant Terry knew what was coming next. No, I'm his, well, I guess you could say, sweetheart. There was one rule in life that was as sure as death. The best girls were always dating the biggest shitheads. And if they were not, and they were nice, and they were with a nice, decent guy who looked after them, the guy was being used. That was the way it was. Eat or be eaten. Terry didn't go in for relationships. It was hazardous to his lifestyle. He would fuck a girl, no problem. But as for buy her dinner and a movie, he didn't see the point. Sweetheart, the word was so antiquated as to draw genuine curiosity from him, rather than sarcasm or ridicule. Well, yeah, we started dating in high school, so I'm like his high school sweetheart. Oh, Terry was uncomfortable now, not only because he had made he had been made a party to the details of some stranger's emotional makeup, but also because his nice, cozy image of Hank as a complete scumbag had been violated by this sharp sliver of purity, sort of like rape in reverse, or when the Care Bears did the Care Bear stare and bashed the bad guy with caring. Well, isn't he here to meet you? Her face darkened with annoyance and trepidation. No, he said he would be. My bus got in at 5 and he said he'd be waiting. He wasn't there, so I came here. I've been ringing the bell for like 10 minutes now and nothing. Terry was tired. He just wanted to sleep, so he did the thing that he thought would rid him of this comely yet bothersome traveller. It's okay, I'll walk you up there. His buzzer's probably broken. So Terry opened the door and carried one of her heavy bags up 3 flights of stairs. There had never been an elevator in this building. They reached the door of 3A and she went to knock, but the door was ajar. This was a habit of Henry's, they both knew, when he was in. It kept a nice draft through his apartment. Sensing his work done and not giving a mixed piss whether or not this was some elaborate con to get into Hank's apartment, he bid her goodbye and ascended the stairs to his loft. Before his key was in the door, he heard screams. He sighed and dropped his shoulders. Either the asshole had like jumped out of a closet or he'd been in bed with a guy. Terry didn't know, and he didn't care. He continued the operation of opening his door, but the screams didn't stop. He turned, descended the stairs, and entered the apartment with a shambling board gate. It is one of these ironically considerate quirks of life that heroin addicts usually die on the toilet when they overdose. It is a shame, however, that they lack the presence of mind to detrouser themselves before death's warm hand reached the last sparks of synaptic activity from their medulla oblongata. The smell that hit Terry and grew in intensity as he homed in on the source of the screaming was that of about 12 hours of decomposing fecal matter that had collected in the seat of Henry's diesel jeans. Terry entered the bathroom to find the girl standing, just screaming, and Hank on the toilet with the needle in his arm. Rigor mortis had peeled his dead mouth into a crazy grin, like he was going down a roller coaster. It was all Terry could do not to start screaming himself. Instead, he took the girl and led her out of the bathroom.